Hi, welcome to Think Fit to Be Fit. I'm Tammy.
I'm Ericka.
And we're here today to talk about water, agua.
That's Tabitha.
Did you know that your body is about 60 to 75% water? We're almost all water.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for us to stay hydrated. It's like something our bodies really can't live without.
Yeah, it's a critical necessity for life. It's involved in every single process in the body. It's involved in joint lubrication, digestion, circulation. It keeps your skin nice and soft and supple and hydrated, and temperature regulation.
Yeah, and it's great for anti-aging, obviously. So if you're keeping your skin hydrated, you're going to look a lot more youthful.
Mm-hmm.
So what keeps us hydrated, or how do we know if we are hydrated? Or what are signs that we aren't hydrated?
Yeah.
Maybe let's look at it that way. How do we know when we're not hydrated? So I know one of my big things is the symptom I get the most is fatigue. I'm exhausted. I just don't understand why I'm so tired. It's because I'm not getting enough water.
Yeah, run down. Like when people get that 3 o'clock midday decline in mental concentration, which is what I tend to have, that's when I notice, or they're just tired and they go back to the coffee pot at work to be able to get more caffeine, it's usually because they're dehydrated. They haven't drank enough water throughout the day. They maybe had coffee early on and skipped drinking water throughout the day.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important. So you got to drink your water. Also constipation, that's like another one, getting the bowels moving. Like if you do not have enough water, you're probably not making your bowel movements or enough of them. And you will be feeling that because you're going to be bloated or you're going to feel really tired again. It makes you feel exhausted. So if you're eating really dry foods, that's sometimes a big cause of why you may be constipated, right?
Yeah, because you're not getting enough hydration. You need extra hydration when you're drinking a lot of dry foods.
So that being said, what are some foods that are great for it? A lot of fruits and veggies, because there's a lot of water in them and they retain the water and then help push it out with the fibers. So
yeah, one of the things I used to tell my clients in the morning is that what's the first thing you do? You run to the bathroom and eliminate, and so you'll need to replenish right away, and fruits are fantastic for replenishing. Headache is another symptom that people will get sometimes, or aches and pains. I used to have clients that would come in and they would say, I think I have arthritis, my joints hurt and ache, or my muscles ache, maybe I have fibromyalgia. And here I looked at their diet and they had either they were drinking too much coffee and thinking that was enough to hydrate their body, or not drinking water at all or any fluids throughout the day. And
sodas.
Yeah, or sodas. And as soon as we made the shift and we got them drinking water, a lot of that pain went away and their vibrancy and their energy increased.
Yeah, and again, that's an alkalinity thing too to look at. So that's an acidic diet versus an alkaline diet, and water more on the alkaline scale. I know there's different pHs in different waters, and we could go break down that whole nother topic, but getting some water no matter what, you want to get as much as you can. I mean, we'll talk about how much, but anyways, another symptom that you'll find yourself having if you don't have enough hydration is water retention.
Okay? Yeah, you think it's the opposite, right? You think I'm drinking too much water, I'm retaining water, but your body will start holding on to water if you're not getting enough. And sometimes people will consume sugary foods, or they'll consume salt foods, because salt and sugar pull water into your body. Carbohydrates hydrate the body, they pull water into the body. So sometimes if you notice that you're retaining water, take a look. Are you eating a lot of sugary foods? Are you eating a lot of salty foods? And are you getting enough water? Because sometimes you'll go towards those foods versus drinking water, and it should be the opposite. Drink the water and stay away from those foods.
Exactly. Other symptoms.
Anxiety, depression, dizziness,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you could really avoid if you actually drink enough water. And I'm not pointing any fingers, I'm just saying if we drink enough water.
Yeah. That's why we have our water here.
And concentration, that's another one. If for me, I realize I'm doing a bunch of work and I'm so thirsty, I don't ever have enough attention span. My focus goes completely out the door. So
that's the first thing that goes for me. I always know that I can't focus. The first thing I go, maybe I've been sitting too long, I need to get up and move around and get my circulation going. But then I pay attention, I'm fatigued, I'm tired, and I can't think straight. So I haven't gotten enough water throughout the day. So how much water should people drink?
Half of your body weight, actually. So whatever you weigh divided by 2 and that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. In my book, Think Fit to Be Fit, I do say a gallon of water a day. The purpose of that was because the diet that I put together in there was more focused on more of a competition diet, which is a higher protein diet versus a higher carbohydrate diet. And when you're consuming more proteins, when you're a carnivore like myself versus a herbivore like Ericka is, there's a water discrepancy need. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so you excrete more water when you have the protein, and then you retain more water when you're eating more veggies and fruits and carbohydrates, because they're usually filled with more water and they just hold on to the water. So
yeah, they pull it in. Carbohydrates hydrate the body. Proteins excrete. So when people go on high protein diets, the first thing they do is they lose 5 or 10 pounds, but it's usually water weight. It's not it's not fat weight. You can't lose fat that fast. So there's a big difference.
You might look a little more leaner because of that. But
Right, exactly. And what about too much water? Have you heard of water toxicity?
Yeah, now you have to be careful too, because if you drink too much water, then you're going to be depleting a lot of your electrolytes in the body, and those are so important. Those are our minerals, and actually electrolytes are so under the radar, and they really are some of the most important components in our body. We need to have those to keep our bodies functioning and really thriving.
Yeah. Heart function. I mean, just every process in the body, you need minerals, become part
Nerves,
of your
brain stuff,
your teeth,
functioning.
your bones, all kinds of stuff. So you don't want to deplete them, and your brain's not going to function well if you deplete them. So if you live in a more arid climate like Arizona, you'll need more electrolytes. If you're working all day long outside, exerting yourself a lot, then you'll need more water.
Exercising a ton, running marathons, have a really active lifestyle. You got to be careful. So, and a lot of athletes have a lot of knowledge on this stuff because they're prepared, because they know that's what they need.
Right,
So,
exactly. So you'll have to, adjust your water consumption based upon your activity. A normal average person who might exercise 3 to 5 days a week, get half your body weight in water. If you're really super active or in a dry area, then try to get more water. But definitely don't drop below that half your body weight in water.
And also with electrolytes, so something to just think about, that's something super easy, is just grabbing some lemon and limes when you're at the grocery store. Yeah. Citrus fruits are excellent and high in electrolytes naturally. You don't have to go buy the mineral salt bottles. I mean, there are some really good brands and stuff, but you could go right into nature and pull those citrus fruits, squeeze it in your water, especially if you have tap water. Do that, because that's going to help alkalize your water too. Mm-hmm. So gives you nutrients, gives you your electrolytes, and alkalizes all at the same time, which is really powerful.
And alkaline, and we're big on alkalinity. So what are good water choices? A lot of times people, and even the research shows people can drink, 5 to 7 cups of coffee a day, and it's great for dementia. But if people are only drinking coffee, and every time you drink coffee, you're running to the bathroom and a lot of times excreting more than you consumed in water, then you're not necessarily going to be in a hydrated state. You're going to be in a dehydrated state. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think that, well, if I'm drinking coffee, or if I'm drinking pop, or I'm drinking, Kool-Aid, or whatever you might be drinking, that they can count that as water. But as we mentioned, if you're buffering some of that acid stuff, like coffee's acid, alcohol's acid, and so if you're buffering it with water, you're going to get rid of a lot more water than what you're consuming with those drinks. So water goes in clear and it comes out clear. And that stuff that you're drinking, like Kool-Aid or coffee, it goes in one color and it comes out a different color. Where does all that stuff go? Yeah,
for real. And it's something to think about for your kidneys too. So kidney function, you need your water, especially high protein diets. You got to be careful with that. You want to make sure you stay hydrated, because that's hard on the kidneys too.
It's really hard on the kidneys. So ultimately, stick with just plain water for the most part when you can. Herbal teas are great though, because you get a lot of micronutrients with herbal teas, as long as they're not the caffeinated herbal teas. And I will a lot of times make a big thermos of herbal tea, like a dandelion tea, which is great for detoxifying the liver, and use 1 tea bag for 32 ounces of water. It gives me a little bit of a flavor in my water, like if you added lemon or lime, and I can drink so much more water easily.
Yeah, you got to just find your favorite teas if you do herbal tea, and then let that be your thing. Or you change it with the seasons, because sometimes you want some more warm spices and herbs, and the other ones you want more fruity and like more tropical-y or stuff for like the summer and springtime. It gets you kind of like you're drinking a spritzer in a way.
Yeah. I think one of the other important points to bring up is if you're only beginning to drink water, I've had clients come to me and say, I hate water. And I love water, so that's kind of odd to me. But at one point in time in my life, I hated water too. But the way that you can overcome that is put a glass of water or a bottle of water at your desk, next to your bed, in your car, everywhere. And when it's sitting there, the interesting thing is that you will drink it just because it's there out of habit. And over time, the more you'll do that and the easier it'll become. And then all of a sudden you're like, where's my bottle of water? I need my water. So it'll become easier. If you're not a water drinker, it becomes easier, and then you'll start to crave it because it's so good for your body. Your body just loves it.
Exactly. And like Tammy said, water by your bed. I haven't mentioned this yet, I don't believe. But making sure you bring a glass of water to bed. Don't drink it when you're going to bed, because then you're going to have to be up in the middle of the night. That's not a good time to drink. Try not to drink a couple hours before bed so that you're not up in the middle of the night. But when you drink 16 ounces to 32 ounces in the morning, that like gets your digestion ready to go. You're feeling really awake. You're feeling good, and you're just gonna have way more energy and just like an overall good feeling for the day. So like best time of the day to really hydrate, morning, right when you get up.
Yeah. It just kicks in that hydration, invigorates you better than coffee, surely. So thanks for joining us today.
Wait, I have one last thing I really want to say.
Yeah.
So just temperature of water, because we didn't really talk about temperature.
Yeah, temperature's a good one. It's interesting. There's different theories, and it's really a relative thing. So let me hear your take on temperature of water.
So cold to super hot. Okay. There's something good in each and every one of them. Okay. But ice cold is not supposed to be great for digestion and when you're eating and whatnot. I like to just have room temperature water or hotter water with lemon when I'm like eating or after or before a meal, something just to keep my stomach calm. And again, it's really good for digestion. So that's what I see. Ice water is just too hard on my body. I know it tastes really satisfying, especially on a hot day. But ideally, if you want really good digestion, unless some people have incredible, strong systems, and I'm like, go ahead, you can do that.
Pitta, if they're pitta. So my take on that is it's relative, right? So if you're really pitta and fiery, you're that person who's hot all the time, it's actually not bad for you. It'll help to cool and balance out that pitta.
Yeah.
In fitness, it's been said to drink, a gallon of ice cold water a day because it cools your system down, and then your metabolism has to kick back up.
It speeds it up,
Yeah, and so if you're looking for weight loss, then drinking cold water to kick up that metabolism is better. But if you're looking for longevity, which is what you were kind of referring to, don't stress the system, stay hydrated, don't cool the system down, make sure that you're consuming it with some lemon or lime and it helps with digestion. Then or your Vata, we're Vata, we're very Vata, so we tend to be cold all the time.
Yeah.
And with a little bit of Pitta.
Yeah, Vata Pitta.
Yeah.
We're both Vata.
And Vatas need more warm temperature food. So that's a whole different topic, but it's relative, the temperature of water. So drink what feels, organic to you, it feels good to you. And thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you
talking
guys
water.
drink up.
Yeah.
Cheers. Prost.
Yes. Follow us on our channel and our social media sites and look for our next video.
Thank you.